For a while now, I've been doing explorations of long-forgotten Rebel starships that actually appear in the films, but mysteriously have absolutely no information and extremely limited reference. Basically, they are canonical ships that Star Wars has completely forgotten about. I was lucky enough to get a pretty good look at a number of these ships, and with this knowledge, I've been resurrecting them in high detail. This shot alone has a handful of unidentified ships, and I've already done these two, but that brings us to this one, which seems to be an unidentified variety of Mon Calamari cruiser. And as usual, I can't really show you what the miniature looked like, but if you trust me to describe it accurately, this ship took the form of a pretty low detail model that was pretty much just painted with a flat gray, and it achieves the bulbous, bumpy Mon Calamari look by kit-bashing parts from what appears to be a model kit of aircraft weapons. I'm not exactly sure which kit, but something like this perhaps, which is a Hasegawa 148 scale aircraft weapon kit. But again, I'm not sure what the actual kit was. At any rate, it's obvious that the ship was detailed with these sorts of parts, because you can actually still see attachment points and fins from some of the model kit weapons. I included these in my version, but I did somewhat exaggerate the size of the fins, because I thought they lent a pretty unique flair to a vessel that might otherwise blend into the rest of the Mon Cal fleet a bit too much. Overall, I ramped up the detail by several orders of magnitude, including numerous technical features, windows, weapons, and hull patterns that are simply not present on the original miniature. But in light of a complete lack of canonical information about this ship, I thought I would come up with a backstory for it. So here goes. What we have here started its life as a 650-meter Uru-class luxury liner known as the Sfera-Lana, which was known as an incredibly popular and decidedly lavish recreational cruiser before the Clone Wars. But wartime and the eventual rise of the Empire left it out of service for many years. As the Mon Calamari began retrofitting civilian vessels for war against the Empire, even cruise ships like the Sfera-Lana were seen as strong contenders for conversion into warships, as these vessels typically had high-quality hyperdrives and decent shielding pre-installed. Owing to their often extensive and spacious passenger accommodations, luxury liners were often converted into mobile hospitals and logistical support vessels, but some were given extra armor and weapons for frontline combat, as would be the fate of the Sfera-Lana. As a luxury liner, the Sfera-Lana carried nominal defensive weapons, basically a small array of light concealable laser cannons to ward off pirates, but to make her suitable for military service, a number of passenger facilities were removed and replaced with modular weapon emplacements and additional power generators. Where there were once opulent transparasteel viewports in the floor, wartime retrofitters added an array of turbo lasers. In this case, these dual turbo laser turrets were salvaged from an otherwise inoperable CR-90 Corvette. Altogether, the Sfera-Lana was outfitted with 15 turbo lasers and 26 anti-starfighter laser turrets. As originally built, the Sfera-Lana already had relatively high-performance engines. Even so, they were deemed unsuitable for contending with the proper warships of the Imperial Starfleet. The solution was to simply attach additional thrusters, powered by a supplementary reactor which took up a large portion of the cargo hold. As is characteristic for Mon Calamari design, the skeletal frame of the Sfera-Lana was robust and quite well suited for supporting additional mass. But the original hull structure, while technically strong enough to support the mass of additional thrusters, was not necessarily capable of withstanding the engines under full power, meaning that the crew risked collateral damage to the ship every time they took it to its maximum sublight velocity. Although difficult to maintain and modified far beyond safety margins, the Sfera-Lana proved vital to the Mon Calamari Starfleet, which was otherwise lacking in smaller, faster frigate-sized ships that could quickly enter deep into a battle zone and launch starfighters under the cover of relatively heavy turbolaser fire. To this end, the Sfera-Lana was retrofitted with a hangar facility much larger than most ships of its size, thanks to the fact that as a luxury liner, the Sfera-Lana once housed a lavish interior water feature, complete with artificial beaches, reefs, and non-sentient aquatic life. This entire feature and all its related systems were completely removed and replaced with modular hangar facilities. Complete with repair and fabrication bays, this hangar could hold and service an entire squadron of starfighters, though the size of the ventral hangar aperture couldn't accommodate anything much larger than an X-Wing. Altogether, the Sferalanna proved to be a highly effective improvised warship, but was obviously overshadowed by the larger and more visible Mon Calamari cruisers. But while the Sferalanna could not go toe-to-toe with a Star Destroyer, its heavy weapons and large starfighter complement did outclass virtually every starship in its category. Well, that's an explanation of yet another Rebel mystery ship. I hope you guys liked it. As with my Nebulon B video, this video was greatly facilitated by my friend Angelos Karderinis, who completely designed, created, and rendered the beautiful hangar facilities of the Sferalanna. His work is excellent, and you can find a lot of his really cool stuff under the name Angelos Karderinis on ArtStation. I think I've done 6 of these ships now, and there are actually a few more unidentified Rebel ships floating around in the films. So if you want to see that, I'd love to do more, or let me know if there are other canonical ships that have yet to be visualized, like how I imagined what the Nebulon B might have looked like in Imperial service. That was super fun to do as well, so I would love to hear your ideas. But with that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.